Hi everyone, my name is Alina. I started Wavy Curl method almost a year ago. My goal was to improve the health of my hair, but then suddenly I realized that I have some waves in it. And since I started this journey, I learned so much about hair. I was hoping to share this information with you, and maybe you'll find it helpful as well. This last year has been a really difficult time for all of us, and because of that, we were able to actually spend some time and improve the health of our hair, but also we probably managed to damage quite a lot of mental health. But hopefully soon it's going to be over. But I know that some of you still don't have the access to the hairdressers, and quite a few asked me to film how to trim the hair yourself. Honestly, if you have a chance not to do it, if you have the access to the hairdresser, please go to any hairdresser, ask for layered haircut, for cascade haircuts, any of those words which should work for any of the hairdressers. They should be able to cut your hair well with different layers, and they would do so much better job than anyone would do themselves. Even if you're super experienced, it's really hard to cut hair yourself by layers. But if you decide to cut your hair yourself, please buy proper shears from the Amazon. So I'm not claiming that these are proper, because they're extremely small size and it was super difficult to cut my whole head with this tiny shears, but please just get something from Amazon. They're not really very expensive, and it's going to be so much better for you than your stationary scissors, please. This isn't going to be your usual unicorn cut. I don't really think it works well on the hair. It's not quite straight, and it also could be visible even when your hair is wavy. So the cut that you're going to see is really difficult, and it was quite challenging for me to film it properly for you. So hopefully I will just be able to try and explain you with my voice what I was doing there, and you will get at least an idea of how to trim your hair. Also, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to share much more information about wavy hair with you, and hopefully you'll find this information helpful. So the best is actually to do the trim on already created layered haircut, because it will be quite easy for you to see just to cut a little bit of it. But if you have straight cuts and you need to create layers, it's very difficult job, and I still would encourage you to go to a proper hairdresser and ask for the layered haircuts. Anyway, let's not waste any more of the time and get into my bathroom and see how to cut your hair. I washed my hair prior to this process, as I'm going to do a wet hair trim. It will be much easier to do it when the hair is straight. You will need a comb with a sharp end and a detangling brush. First, we are going to detangle the hair and then add a cream or a leave-in to add some slip to the hair. After, I'm moving into sectioning. Now, I have extremely dense hair, so I have created 6 sections in total. However, more sections means you're more likely to mess it up. It's easier to trim the ends this way. I started with the front and sectioning the face framing part separately. Then I'm creating one section on the top of my head, and this part will be pretty much all the same length. Then I'm creating sections on the sides. Sectioning is one of the most important steps. It will determine how your trim is going to turn out, so make sure to do it properly. I'm dividing the back into further 2 sections, as on the back of my head I have the most amount of hair. The thicker your density is, more sections you have to make. Once the sectioning is complete, I'm finally moving into the cut. I start from the face framing side, as this is going to be my guide for the rest of the hair. As you can see, I have directed the hair all the way to the top. Layers means you will have to stretch your whole hair to the opposite to your scalp area. I'm cutting it straight, and then I pin cut the areas that look a little bit more chunky. Now that I have a guide, I'm taking a bit of the hair that I just trimmed and directing it together with the part that I didn't trim yet. You can see that the shortest hair is where my guide is, meaning that the rest of the hair, the longest one, has to go. I usually start from the shortest side, as then it will be easy to measure it accordingly and not cut hair any shorter. After trimming and directing it all the way to the top, I'm actually now directing it to the sides, making sure that there are no random pieces out there. When I feel like the front pretty much done, I move into the next section using the whole section as my guide. I'm taking a tiny bit of hair at a time and slowly moving my way back. I missed my guide because I wasn't really directing it the correct way. In order to see it, I had to direct it vertically, but I actually took horizontal sections. That's why I didn't really see it. Sorry you can't really see some of the bits. I didn't really realize that I'm off the camera. Just checking the whole section, I'm directing it all together to see if some pieces are not sticking out completely. Sometimes I lose the guide and become really confused as where to cut it. Now, moving to the other side of the heads, and I'm doing literally exactly the same steps. Here I'm showing you how short the guide is and how long untrimmed hair is. Here you can actually easily see what has to go. The back of my hair is the most difficult part because I have the most of the hair right there, and it's really difficult to direct it all the way back and cut it there. It's especially difficult because my hair is so long. But when you do your back, just make sure that you grab the ends with your fingers when your hair is all the way directed to the back. Don't lose your hair, because if you're going to lose it in your fingers, loosening it, it's going to be not really a straight cut. Make sure to reapply water when needed, as when your hair dries, it will start to curl. Alright, and when all the sides are done, we're now going to go into different random sections and check if all are cut correctly and if I didn't miss anything. Then slide in the hair to the sides to see if all looks straight from the front as well. last check is to take some hair from the opposite parts of the head and direct them all the way to the front and compare if the length is the same. Okay, we're ready to go, and look at the amount of hair I trimmed. Just a tiny bit from the ends, nothing more. One of the things that I want to highlight that it is absolutely normal for the hair to freak out and not to clamp straight away after you trimmed your hair. This is normal. Like, your hair needs a little bit of time to find its own path, to find, the same clumps that it used to be in. So just give it a little bit of time, and usually after 2 or 3 weeks you will see the best results of your haircut. So it's been already a couple of weeks since that cut, and here are the results. As you can see, as the result, my hair actually started to curl even more. So usually trims are so helpful because when you cut those dead ends, it actually allows your hair to shrink up a little bit. And I feel this is what happened in my case. Like, a couple of weeks, it was a little bit more voluminous than usually, but now you can actually see it's very defined. It is quite curly. It's really hard to call this hair today wavy, because like some ringlets are on the bottom of my hair, which is absolutely beautiful, and I still feel like a doll, but I think it's pretty. And yes, it is really difficult. It's not an easy one. It's not one and done cut. It takes time. It took me about an hour to do my whole head, but keep in mind, I have a lot of hair. I hope you found this information useful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please also don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram. I always share most recent pictures on Instagram, so you will be able to see quite a lot of the things that are not common here on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye!